Hi Sherif, this was your mock test, your first one with me, so your first one ever really, your first mock test. You've done about 20 hours. The mock test had a lot of faults, but I think you really learned a lot from this mock test. Every fault you've made, it's good to make it now than to make it during your test. So I think you'll learn a lot from this. So let's play the video and you'll see the mistakes as they happened, okay? So the first mistake was, it comes under meeting traffic. So we just turned right out of the road that the test centre is on. And this road here is well known for this mistake happening. Because the road has a bend in it, you can't really see what's coming the other way. And it's really tight because you've got parked cars on both sides of the road. Okay, so this fault always happens here on this road. Okay, now we can see there's a problem. Over here, there's a car that's in front of us and there's another car coming the opposite way. They've been stuck there they just got stuck there for a few seconds. You should notice this and notice there's a huge gap on your side here and go into this gap on the left here and let this problem clear up. But you made the problem worse by going in behind this car. So now you should just go into this gap, seeing there's a problem there, let it clear up by going into the gap on the left. But you made it worse by going forward, and now even if this car manages to come through, it won't be able to get through you.
No, here. You should have waited there.
So the problem kind of clears up, but again it's a problem because the car has reversed back now and we can't fit through, they can't fit through. Then I kind of had to guide you and tell you what to do here. And it was a really bad situation. Okay, so after this car, now the problem's still there. And then that car had to back up and then I had to kind of guide you again. So it could have all been cleared up if we just had waited in that big massive gap that we had at the beginning.
Yeah, I think you would take it. Because there was already a problem going on with other cars. You should just wait in the first big gap.
Okay, so we just take another look at it. So as we're approaching the meeting situation, we can notice there's a problem ahead. We can just wait in this gap on the left here. Okay, now this would be a serious fault, okay, because of what happened with the other cars. Something you'd fail for. Okay, now you got a minor fault. It was on one of the first junctions, one of the first left turns we took.
I'm going to take the road on the left.
You gave the signal before you checked the mirror. Okay, so this is a minor fault. You got to check the mirror first, because if there is something there in your mirror, then you want to decide whether you should delay giving the signal, or you should give the signal more earlier, or you should give the signal around the same time that you always give it. Now, if there is something in your mirror, like a cyclist, you might want to delay that signal. You might want to let the cyclist go past you first, and then give the signal after the cyclist passes you. So you got to check the mirror first, then give a signal. So majority of your turns before we start the mock test, you were signaling, then last second checking the mirror, like you did on the first junction on the mock test. So remember to check the mirror first, then give the signal. You've got a minor fault for hesitating here. We're turning left and there's no reason for us not to complete our turn. So as you came to the turn, you've kind of paused here. And then you've turned in. Okay, this will be a fault for hesitating. I'm just going to take you back a tiny bit just to show you again. So as you approach the turn, there's no reason why we can't turn in to the left. Even if you're thinking that something might come out of this road this way, if it comes, it'll be in their lane and we'll be in our lane. So when you got a left turn like this and then your lane has no parked cars in it, you should turn in. After you turned in, then you can decide what to do, if you need to wait for a oncoming vehicle or if you can proceed. But just pausing here this is wrong. Okay, so it'll be a minor fault for hesitating.
Minor fault for hesitating.
Then we had started the independent driving, and at this roundabout the direction to follow was Chingford Mount, which is a right turn. You even said to me here, it's the last exit. I said yes, but then you ended up not giving a signal at all and then taking the first exit. Okay, now let me show you where the faults happened. So here you should have given the right signal already, but you haven't given any signal, and then you ended up taking the first exit, but you really slowed down here.
Here we've come the wrong way. Okay, just keep going, keep going. It will be, I think it will be a fail on the test because you kind of stopped. If you go this way, you have to give a left signal and just keep going.
So yeah, so if you go the wrong way, it's not a fault as long as you've driven correctly, but you haven't given a signal to take the first exit, and you've kind of paused in the middle of the roundabout with 2 or 3 cars behind us. Okay, so this is a serious fault for hesitating. Okay, now the next fault happened straight after here. Maybe you were still focusing about the last mistake. At the mini roundabout, I said we're going to turn right, and then you've turned the wrong direction before the circle. So on a roundabout, you need to go forward and then turn right. As a minimum, your left-hand tires shouldn't touch the circle. Okay, your right-hand tires probably will go over the circle because it's quite tight, but you've gone completely this way, okay, which is wrong. You've gone the wrong side of the circle. Okay, now what that will do is it'll put you in a collision course of an accident. If a car is coming from that way out of the roundabout, if it's coming this way, then it's going to be much closer to you. Plus the vehicle that's coming this way, they can't turn left at the same time that you're going and turning right. So that's why we can't go before the circle. Okay, so this would be a serious fault as well, something you'd fail for. Okay, and then the next fault happened a bit further down the road. So we went further, we turned right into this road. Okay, and then it happened on this road. This is also a serious fault. Your position, you went completely into the wrong side of the road. So here, you got parked cars on your left, these cars here. So I understand why you try to leave the cars a lot of space, but you were driving in this side of the road, which is very dangerous because you might have a car coming around the corner. Now the bigger danger is the car coming around the corner opposed to the parked cars. So what you should do is drive closer to the parked cars so that you're more in your lane, as much in your lane as you can be. And that way, if a car is coming around the corner, there's more chance they're going to see you earlier, and there's more chance that you're out of the way if there is a car coming. Now, it's not safe to drive close to parked cars, so to compensate for the fact that it's not safe, we're going to drive slower. We're going to drive really slow to make sure that if a door was to open, then we can react and stop before the door. But what you've done is you've driven completely on the wrong side of the road, and if a car's coming around the other way, it's going to be very dangerous. So this would be a serious fault. Your next fault happened at this roundabout, and again it's a serious fault, something you'd fail for. We turned right because we were following the sign for North Chingford. As you come up to the roundabout, you'll notice there's only one lane that's entering the roundabout. So when you go into the roundabout, there'll kind of only be one lane, single file traffic inside the roundabout. You won't have a car beside you. Everyone's going to be following one after the other. Now what you've done is you've gone past the first exit, you've gone past the second exit, and then when it came time to leave, you kind of stopped and waited for the car behind you to go first. Here. There was a little pause there.
Yeah, also, yeah.
If I just take you back, okay, so we're going into the roundabout.
On roundabout this size, you won't get marking on the floor, A1.
Okay, so Okay, so just now, as it's time to leave, what you should do, so I'm just going to pause you there. Here, you should have checked your left mirror, given a left signal, and come off the roundabout by this exit, and the car behind you would just follow you. But what you've done is you've kind of paused here, and I think you wanted the car behind you to go before you first, and then you go. Then once the car behind you wasn't going before you, then you moved on. So this would be another serious fault, something you'd fail for, in undue hesitation. I'll just take you back a little bit and show you again. So you're coming here, check the mirror, left mirror now, give a left signal and leave. But you kind of paused, check the mirror and paused and waited for the car behind to go first. Your next serious fault was here at this traffic light junction. So we've done this traffic light junction in your last lesson, and this junction, a lot of people fail on this junction for turning right when a car is coming from ahead. And last lesson you made a mistake, and this lesson you didn't, because the junction was quite empty. And then here you made no mistake, and then here you started asking me, is this the junction from last lesson? And that's when I think you lost concentration when you started talking. And you'll notice here on the floor it said 20 miles an hour. If you notice here the speedometer, your speedometer gets up to 25 miles an hour. This means that you're doing 27 miles an hour, because that speedometer is a little bit under the speed limit. Whatever speed it shows, you're actually doing 2 miles extra. So it said 25, you got up to 27 miles an hour, and the road is 20 miles an hour. So this would be a serious fault, something you'd fail for. So I would say, on your real test, do not talk to the examiner, just concentrate on your driving. Okay, then your last mistake happened here, something you'd fail for as well. Approaching the zebra crossing, you've not spotted the lady on your left and waited for her. And then after this will be a fail, but after she crossed, now you can go because she's finished crossing. And then on your left, you've kind of like hesitated. On your left, a lady approached, this lady here, and seeing as you've hesitated and the lady is now ready to cross, you should wait there and let her cross, but you haven't. You've just carried on. So it's 2 mistakes in one, but it'd be counted as 1 mistake, and it's something you'd fail for. Okay, so there's been 7 mistakes that you'd fail for, and a couple of minor faults. So this was a good learning opportunity. Something I think you really learn from this. It's good the mistakes happen now. You can learn from it and you can try harder. Better happening now than happening on your test day. But we're going to do lots more mock tests. We're probably going to do another 5 or 6 mock tests before you get ready for your driving test.